Hi, I'm Veli from Greenwood Solutions. Today's presentation is called Avoid the Void. Yes, we're talking about manufacturers. How do you make sure that you're not voiding the warranty when you're installing solar panels and racking systems? Hit that subscription button so you get these videos straight to your feed. When it comes to panels, there's some do's and don'ts. And one of the first one is do not immerse modules in water or constantly expose modules to water, either fresh or salt, i.e. from fountains, sea spray. Exposing modules to salt, i.e. a marine environment, or sulfur sources, volcanoes. Not that you want to put a solar panel near a volcano, but hey, this can incur the risk of module corrosion. Failure to comply with these instructions will void company X's warranty. As I always like to say, read the manual, filling in the missing word. Slow and steady. Ooh, look, walking on panels. Look, there are some panels you can walk on, and they're the amorphous type that are designed to go on the deck of a boat or a yacht, and they can be walked on. They're a bit more robust, they're bendable and foldable. Bendable, when I say bendable, they are more foldable than bendable. Use 4 clamps on the long side of the panel. We're all aware of that. Anyone who's ever installed a solar panel, that's what you do. The mounting rail runs perpendicular to the long side of the panel. So where you put the rail is really, really important. And I urge you to look at the manufacturer's manual. In other words, read the manual, fill in the missing word, and you'll see that the load rating of the panel will vary considerably depending on where the actual rail is placed. In this particular range, we are talking between 340 to 550 mil. Now with that range comes maximum loads, and in this case, the uplift load is less than or equal to 2,400 pascals, and the downward force load is less than or equal to the same, 2,400 pascals. Now in this situation, we have a panel range of 410 to 490 mil. So what's the difference? The maximum loads have now increased. The uplift load has increased to less than or equal 3,600 pascals. The downward force load to less than or equal 5,400 pascals. Now, we have another range where we're putting the rail pretty close to the end of the panel, so between 0 and 239 mil. And look what happens to the maximum loads. The uplift load now is less than or equal to 2,000 pascals. And the downward force load is less than or equal to 2,000 pascals as well. So straight away we can see where you position the rail and the clamps on a panel will determine its uplift and downward force loads. So we're talking about not voiding the manufacturer's warranty with the way you install a solar panel. Now in this example, I have 3 solar panel installations, all on tilt. I've seen all 3 of these examples. Now in the first one, it looks ridiculous, but effectively, this is the side view of the solar panel, and the first foot was probably about 150, 200 mil in. But the second leg, not only was it going vertically down, it was halfway down the panel. So you can imagine with a really strong wind, it's sort of like a wind, isn't it? Okay. Blowing the wind onto this panel, this area will be flapping around like crazy. So what happens, of course, here at this point, microfractures all the way, which of course won't be seen unless you run a thermal imaging camera over it, but will be seen from the after a while with the output from this panel or this string of panels if they've all been configured like this. Now the second example is marginally better, but not much. So what's happened, you've gone into this clamping zone really close to the edge of the panel. So that's, say, within 100 mil, and the same on that side. So what happens here, you can imagine with the wind coming up here, this panel would belly out, and microfractures would occur at this point and at these points as well. So possibly voiding the warranty, depending on what stipulation the installation manual says for that particular panel in question. Now the third one is the ideal, and also look, back to this one here, the angle of the leg is a little bit better, but ideally the angle of the leg should be perpendicular to the face from a structural point of view. Now the third example is, sorry about that, a bit of a dripping 25%. So what's happened here, they've designed a panel where the first leg is at about the 25% mark of the total length of the panel. So let's say that's 2,000 mil, and this is at the 25%, so around about, say, 450 to 500 mil. And the same there, and the leg, the back leg, is totally perpendicular, abiding by all installation requirements and the maximum Pascal allowance for updraft. So that's the ideal situation. Obviously, we are restricted by the physicality of the roof in this situation, of course, but ideally this is how you want to be mounting your panels. Conclusion. Follow the manufacturer's guidelines. Different clamping points relate to different ratings. Use correct tools to attain desired torque settings. Thanks very much for watching Avoid the Void. Yep, not about deep space or Star Trek, but about manufacturers, warranties, and how not to get in trouble when installing solar panels and framing systems. See you then.